Truth is that most of the doctors that you see here and those billion-dollar online pharmacies want you to take a pill like Viagra and or Cialis every single day. But what they don't want you to know and what they won't tell you though is that this is an awful idea. This stuff is not a natural approach, and in fact, you could go blind, you could have a stroke, you could develop a deadly arrhythmia or have a heart attack. So stick around for the evidence. Now, sildenafil is an agent in a class of medications called phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors. It's become known as the little blue pill because when it first came to market, and there weren't a bunch of generics, the pill was actually this beautiful, pretty blue, almost like sky blue or Tiffany blue. It works by competing and binding with PDE5 in the erectile tissues to keep the level of cGMP high so that blood vessels within the tissue relax, widen, and fill with blood. But this is actually a systemic effect, meaning it happens throughout your body and not just in the love below. And evidence released and written up in medical journals around the world, funded by, you guessed it, seems to indicate that taking Viagra or Cialis pills every single day improves everything from Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, heart disease, pulmonary hypertension, and a recent study showed guys were even less depressed when they were taking it every single day. Now, news outlets sponsored by big pharma and physicians with similar agendas have said every man should be taking one of these pills every single day. Well, I say hold up, and that it's BS because I know that you're smarter than to assume that you should just resign yourself to take an ED medication every single day of your life like it's a vitamin. And in this video, we'll review the side effects, the evidence, and the studies which suggest the exact opposite. I want you to see both sides of this issue and ideally have you focus on healing naturally instead of taking a prescription pill for ED every single day until your 99th birthday. The men most likely to have complications are men with hypertension, men with diabetes, men taking other medications because the meds can either work with it and have a synergistic or an amplified effect and lower blood pressure too much, or your detoxification system could actually be thrown off. So you're actually unable to remove any of the meds from your body in a timely fashion. And they just build up over time and time. Even antibiotics like a Z-Pak can interfere with this process. And men with really bad tempers, who are stressed and their blood pressure flies all over the place, they got to worry. So you ask, who is prone to blood pressure fluctuations and who's prone to have issues? Well, you are if you're stressed. You're prone to road rage and that blood pressure goes up and down and up and down. You are if you take blood pressure meds or water pills every now and then instead of every day, because blood pressure instability is what puts you at risk. And that sounds like everyone. Now, if you are any of those people, you're at risk taking a drug every single day that causes most of the blood vessels in your body to try to relax. And that's what Viagra and Cialis does. There are so many other things that your body is trying to do and compensate for because sildenafil and tadalafil are both systemic vasodilators. When you take them, it actually makes blood vessels throughout your whole system widen, dilate, and people with underlying conditions resulting in blood pressure fluctuations are the ones at the biggest risk for this thing to go wrong. It's a combination that may not go as planned. So sildenafil, which is generic Viagra, was patented in 1996 and approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on March 27, 1998, for treating erectile dysfunction. It was the first oral medication for ED treatment in the United States. And its introduction in 1998 moved it from being a drug that was primarily developed to treat heart issues to being for boner issues. And when it was introduced in 1998 and subjected to clinical trials, the trials reported 8 deaths. And additionally, Israel reported 6 deaths. So some studies actually suggest that Viagra might have electrophysiological effects, which means mess with the heart rhythm, predisposing some people to deadly arrhythmias. It was actually a case report of a user who just collapsed right after having sex. He took sildenafil without a prescription and had a heart attack. Now, after it was introduced and it hit the market, 8 months after it was introduced, reports to the FDA started to show that its use was associated with 130 verified deaths, 112 unverified deaths, but that didn't stop it. They've not changed the formula. It was the same as it was in the 80s. 13 months after it came on the market, 1,473 major adverse events reported, including 522 deaths, which may seem small to some, but not to others. This article reported that Viagra use was associated with serious adverse effects such as strokes, myocardial infarctions, which are heart attacks, and death. This was right after it hit the market. Now, the formula hasn't changed, but sales have. Sales of Viagra and generic forms of PDE5 inhibitors was estimated to be at around $2.7 billion in 2023. More now that doctors are saying that everyone and their mama literally should be taking it. And literally because they want to push it on the female market too, because so much money is at stake here. So it makes more sense to bury these reports than to have honest discussions about them. Yes, we are discussing that doctors are now recommending that everyone take a Viagra today. You get a Viagra, you get one, you get one, you get one. I beg to differ. I want gents to fix the underlying issue and move on from taking prescription pills. Use a pumping protocol. Eat for your erections. Take care of your prostate and pelvic floor. Boost nitric oxide levels skyway, the natural way. Exercise and strengthen key areas involved in your male reproductive system. And listen, nitric oxide, take control of it, because really take control of your sexual health and really drown out the recommendations to stay fully medicated for the rest of your life. Now, for those of you who are taking it, do not just stop abruptly. Talk to your doctor if you want to wean down and slowly reduce the dose to take yourself off of it, because mind you, there may be a rebound effect. A very early study actually looked at pregnant women who are taking Viagra in a trial to try to increase blood flow to the growing babies inside of them. And the study actually had to be stopped abruptly when they realized that when Viagra is stopped abruptly, it causes an unpredictable risk. 11 women aborted their babies because they stopped it. Because when those blood vessels are wide open and then you abruptly stop them, the blood vessels get confused, they may spasm, something catastrophic may happen, and bam, we have a dump. I saw problems with daily Viagra early with my patients in Gary, Indiana. I was giving them out like candy. Now listen, you could not pay me enough at this point in my life to ever recommend that anyone take this stuff every day for the rest of their lives. According to early documentation from Pfizer, the company that gave us sildenafil, sildenafil produces a modest reduction in blood pressure when you take it. So the systolic number, or the top number, decreases to about 8 to 10, and the diastolic number, or that bottom blood pressure number, decreases 5 or 6. And it's evident mostly after an hour of taking it. And then after about 4 hours, things go back to normal. But what if you're already taking multiple blood pressure medications? What if you already have some form of ischemic heart disease where the arteries are already blocked? What about in the brain? Well, potentially a disaster could happen. And it does. It happens to some unfortunate gents. And it is responsible to suggest that all men should be taking this stuff every single day. So rewinding and analyzing the adverse effects of PDE5 inhibitors that have been reported to the FDA in a period of about 10 years showed about 26,451 adverse events, of which death was represented in there about 8.3% of the time. Now, some will argue that's a small number, but I'll be the first to tell you that adverse effects and events aren't often reported to the FDA. If you don't believe me, ask your doctor on the next visit. Hey, when was the last time you ever reported anything to the FDA? If they say, yeah, well, I did, they likely will not. Ask them how many times they've done so. Doctors just don't do it. So if you take Viagra and Cialis or one of those others while you are on blood pressure medication, you may lower your blood pressure too much. If you take it while you're on your prostate medication, same thing. You may have perfusion issues with dizziness, confusion. Your vital organs aren't getting enough blood flow and you may pass out. Similar to sildenafil, these medications all work by relaxing blood vessels. When you have a drink or a cocktail, listen, alcohol actually widens blood vessels too in the body, like sildenafil. So there's a risk of lowering the blood pressure if you have a cocktail and you combine the two, which can be deadly if you have underlying heart disease or blood vessel disease. So be careful. Do not go for every recommendation that you see because there's money involved here. Take your time and heal the underlying cause so you don't have to rely on these prescription meds. Boost your nitric oxide levels naturally through quality supplement. My smoothie recipes, try those. Eating for your erections and making lifestyle shifts that we know improve nitric oxide levels. Learn how to get turned on with your partner. Show him or her what it takes, what it is that you want. Or join my Live Free, Go Hard community and get it done naturally. We show you how. Just whatever you do, do not fall for this crap saying that you need to take Viagra and Cialis every single day of your life. So share this video, subscribe so you don't miss this life-altering information, and turn on the notifications so you know when a video is available. I'm Dr. Rachel. I love you. Boom. I'm out.